Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are all safe at home. And in life process, this is the last part of life process. So let me give an introduction from the starting. So what we have learned first is about nutrition. The next is about respiration. The third one is transportation, and the final thing is excretion. These four parts are involved in the life processes. So I think you all have learned till transportation. And this week we are going to end up with the life process with excretion in human being and also in plants. Let us move into the lesson. So what is mean by excretion? Excretion is a process by which the waste product produced during the metabolic activities is removed from our body. So the waste product which are secreted are removed out of the body is called as excretion. So in unicellular organism, the waste product are removed from the cell into the surrounding by diffusion. You have already studied about diffusion in ninth standard. What do you mean by diffusion? The transfer, the exchange of materials in and out of the body is called as diffusion. In multicellular organism, the waste product are removed through specialized organ. You know, as in human being, we all have excretory organs. So with that specialized organ, this excretion process is going on. Now let us see what is happening in the excretion in human being. The excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys. These are a pair of kidney, a pair of ureter. The tube-like structure which is present here is called as ureter, which is paired, and a urinary bladder which is present here, and a urethra which helps to pass out the urine. So what are the four things present in the excretory system? A pair of kidney, a pair of ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra. These are the four main things involved in the excretion. Okay. Each kidney has a number of excretory units called nephrons. What is nephron? The functional unit of kidney is called as nephron. So inside the kidney there will be n number of nephrons which is used to filter out urine out of the body. So this is the excretion process happening here, and for this excretion the main part is the nephron. Nephron helps in the excretion of urine out of the body. So let us see the parts of the human excretory system. See the kidney here. Above the kidney there is a gland called adrenal gland. Okay, and this is the structure of kidney which is bean shaped, and here is the medulla. So you can see here in the tiers of kidney, here is the medulla. In between medulla there is a cortex. Okay, so this is the so this part is the pelvis. So it contains renal artery, renal vein, and this renal vein joins into the kidney to form a pelvis. Here is the pelvis. This is the structure of human excretory system, that is the kidney, okay, which is being in shaped. So this is the structure of nephron. We'll see this in the next slide. Yeah, see here the structure of nephron is quite different. So if you catch the idea, you can easily draw the picture. So there are two arteries, that is afferent arteriole and the efferent arteriole. So see here the thing which we receive, the fluid which we receive from the body into the glomerulus is called as afferent arteriole, and which is sent out from the glomerulus is called as efferent arteriole. So there are two arterioles, they are afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole which receives the fluid from the body into the glomerulus. Efferent arteriole is sending out the thing through the out of the glomerulus is called as efferent arteriole. Okay. So now let us see the structure of nephron. So nephron is the functional unit of kidney, and this nephron consists of a Bowman's capsule which is cup shaped here. Inside the Bowman's capsule there is a glomerulus, a tube like structure which is coiled inside the Bowman's capsule is called as glomerulus. This glomerulus, the next one is a proximal convoluted tube which is present in the top, and the distal convoluted tubule which is present after the loop of Henle's with a capillary network. This U-shaped structure is called as loop of Henle's, and here is a proximal convoluted tube, here is a distal convoluted tubule. Okay, this is the major part of the that nephron. So now let us see the description of nephron. So each nephron has a cup-like structure called the Bowman's capsule, which contain a bundle of capillaries called glomerulus. So this is a Bowman's capsule which contains a bundle of capillaries called the glomerulus inside the Bowman's capsule. So this nephron is separated into two parts. They are renal corpuscle and renal tubule. So this half part is called as renal corpuscle, which consists of glomerular capsule, that is Bowman's capsule, and the glomerulus present in it. Okay. This half part is called as renal corpuscle, and the remaining part is called as the renal tubule. This is renal corpuscle, and the remaining half part of this is called as renal tubule. Fine. Okay. So this glomerulus is a capillary network that arises from an afferent arteriole and empties into an efferent arteriole. As I have already said, it arises from an afferent arteriole and empties into an efferent arteriole. So the diameter of the efferent arteriole is smaller than that of the afferent arteriole. So the afferent arteriole which comes here has a diameter very less diameter of length, and the efferent arteriole which moves here consists of a longer diameter, which helps in maintaining a very high blood pressure in the glomerulus. So this arterioles helps in high blood pressure in the glomerulus. The Bowman's capsule is a double-walled cup-like structure, and it encloses the glomerulus. This Bowman's capsule is a cup-shaped and it encloses the glomerulus. The wall of the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule consist of a single layer of flattened epithelial cells. So this Bowman's capsule consists of a single flattened epithelial cells. Okay, this is the structure of a renal tubule which contain Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. Now let us move into the renal tubule. The renal tubule consists of proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and the distal tubule. So these three parts are involved in the renal convoluted tubule. So first we will look at the proximal tubule. What is proximal tubule? The proximal tubule is a part of the renal tubule next to the Bowman's capsule. See here, it is present next to the Bowman's capsule. This proximal tubule is lined with a microvilli, and the maximum reabsorption of water, glucose, amino acids and electrolytes takes place in the proximal convoluted tubule. So the next one is loop of Henle. It contains capillary networks. So this loop of Henles is of two types. They are ascending loop and the descending loop. This ascending loop is thick walled, whereas this descending loop is thin walled. So this ascending loop is thick walled and it is impermeable to water, and this is permeable to water. So next one is distal tubule. This functions the same as the proximal tubule, and this distal convoluted tubule finally ends in the collecting duct. This is the collecting duct where, see here, many number of nephrons are collectively joined here. So only this is called as a collecting duct. This collecting duct receives the waste material from all the nephron filtered, and it finally passes into the renal pelvis and it filter out as urine out of the body. Okay. So each nephron has a cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule, which contain a bundle of capillaries called glomerulus. The Bowman's capsule lead into a tubular structure which joins into a collecting duct. The renal artery brings the nitrogenous waste like ammonia, urea, uric acid, urine along with excess of water, salt into the nephron. So what are the waste material mentioned here? Ammonia, urea, uric acid along with excess of water and salt. So these are the waste material which are being collected and brought into the renal artery. The nephron filters this nitrogenous waste water, salt, which passes through the tubular structure into the collecting duct. So finally all these things are collected into the collecting duct. The waste then passes out of the ureter into the urinary bladder and then is sent out through the urethra as urine. So the useful products are amino acids, glucose, salts, which are absorbed by the body, and the waste materials like what are the things here, as is secreted out as urine. So the useful products are amino acids, glucose, salts. These things are reabsorbed by the capillaries around the tubular structure and goes into the renal vein, and these amino acids, glucose, salts which are needed by our body are sent through the renal vein to all parts of the body. So the waste are removed out through the urethra as urine. Okay. So now we are going to look at the excretion in plants. In plants, the gaseous waste product are removed during respiration. So during respiration, what happens? The plants absorb carbon dioxide and release out oxygen through the stomata. So excess water is removed through the stomata, and this removal of water is called as transpiration. Some water waste products are stored in the leaf and removed when the leaf dry or fall off. Okay. So what happens? Carbon dioxides are intaken and oxygen are removed, and this is also an excretion in plants. Excess of water is removed through stomata, and this process is called transpiration. Some water are stored in leaves and removed when the leaf dry and fall off. Some waste products are stored in the vacuoles. Some waste products like gum and resins are stored in the old xylem cells, and some waste products are removed through the roots. So these are the um, process where the excretion in plant happens. And with this we are ending up the unit life process. Study well. Thank you, children.